All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Well, thank you all for taking time out of your Sunday night. I know it's family day to be on the Zoom. Cheryl and I have been working with some of our uplines and with some of you leaders, so Sammy, April, Chris, and just really talking and connecting in the last month or so. You guys all know we went Sapphire as a team a year ago, right? A year ago this month, which is so super exciting. So thankful to be Sapphire. Love, love, love this team. Love this journey with all of you. I want to say we've added 1,500 to 1,800 people in the last year. Holy crap, right? For the replay, sorry. But I'm going to be really raw and honest with you guys right now. We are exactly the same points as we were last year. And I know that you all feel this too, because we are not having the amount of rank ups that we should be having. You guys are all incredible and amazing leaders, and you deserve to be where you want to be, and you all worked super hard. And I know Cheryl said it many times, I say it too, I'm like, I'm okay where I'm at. I know she's okay where she's at. It's not about a rank for us, but for us, it's about our team and our leaders getting to where they want to be and not being frustrated and just discouraged with, hey, we're adding. We get these messages all the time. Hey, we're adding people. We're the same or we're dropping points. And it's like, we've been racking our brains. Like, where's the disconnect? Because you guys are amazing leaders. Like, we're never like, oh, well, they could up their, this, and this. Like, we know you guys work hard and you love people and you are incredible leaders. But there is something happening where there is a disconnect between the people that we're signing up and we're not retaining them. And all this work, right? We could be on leaders boards all day, but if we're not keeping people and we're not growing, it's kind of not even worth it, right? It's kind of just more discouraging. So you all are on this call tonight because you care about your business, you care about your team, and you care about other people. You wouldn't still be doing this if you didn't. You didn't have a passion to help others. You didn't have a passion for your own family and to do things that are going to change your lives, So there's all reasons why everybody's on this call tonight, all reasons why you guys all joined Plexus. We want to make your business simpler. And so we've been following Brooke and Emily. I know you guys saw that video that Brooke did, and I also sent a video in there that Emily did about follow-up, and then Brooke's system of onboarding. And so I feel like we've definitely become so people dependent, where we're just answering questions left and right, fielding questions, like our messenger's constantly going off, and we're constantly answering the same things over and over. Do you guys ever feel like that? Like, we're so people dependent, where we need to be system dependent. Because if you go on vacation, you don't want to stress. Like, Terry was just on vacation at the beach. I'm sure she felt like, I've got to check on my team, and like, I've got to do all these things, which are great things as a leader to do. But you want to be able to take your hands off the wheel and not feel like everything's going to crumble and fall apart. Does anybody agree? Do you guys feel me on that? Okay. I want to be able to take my hands off sometimes when we go to Maui. And last year I didn't. Like, I felt like anxious and like I needed to constantly be on. And I'm just being totally raw with you guys. Like, I want that for all of us. I want that time freedom that we speak of. And so we should not be working this 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, but we do want to add value to other people's lives, and we do want people to want to join us. There's so many companies out there, right? What makes us different, and what makes people want to join Plexus versus another company? So we want to keep it super simple for people, because life is busy, right? Like, we don't all have time to do all these things. A lot of people work when they join Plexus, and their ultimate goal is to not have to work anymore. But if they're working one job and then they're working all this over here, they're not going to want to do it. It's not going to be fun. And yes, this is a job, this is a business, but it can be fun, okay? So we want to bring the fun back. We want to keep the simple back. And so we are implementing Brooke and Emily's onboarding process. We're keeping it super simple. We're breaking it down. Like, Emily said she's a kindergarten teacher. She keeps it like she talks to people like they're kindergartners. And it makes sense because some of us are self-starters, right? We're like, we just go, we figure it out on our own. We just assume everybody's like that. Not everybody is like that. People do need to be guided and shown where to go. And I go to Bridget and Rhonda all the time and I'm like, I need some guidance. You know, we all need guidance. But if people don't ask us, they're just like, oh, it's too much work and they're gone. So we want to do that, but I do want to ask you guys a few questions before we get into those onboarding sheets. We were talking about doing a welcome video once a month, either a live or a Zoom. Which do you think newbies would pop on? I don't know if Zoom intimidates people, because I think sometimes even our leaders get intimidated to pop on a Zoom, or just going live once a month to do a welcome and explaining, you know, like welcome to Plexus, how to take your products and all these things. Live for sure, okay. I feel like the live is where it's at, but you guys let us know, okay. So I feel like once a month, maybe towards the end of the month, it could be like welcome all July ambassadors, newbies, you know, and just like a quick 10-minute video welcoming them and helping them to better understand what to expect with the products, and maybe just sharing a little bit of how to get their products paid for. So that is something that we want to be consistent about once a month. You know that you can plug them in. If my team page is your main team page, you can plug them into my team page. If Cheryl's is your main team page, you can plug them into Cheryl's. I haven't talked to Sammy and April and seen if we wanted to do that too, but if that's what they want to do, that you can plug them in there. So we just want to have this calendar or system where you guys have like, okay, the third week of the month, we know we're going to have a 7-day trial group, you know, and we can kind of figure that out. Do you guys think the second week of the month is the best, or the third week of the month to do a 7-day trial group on the calendar for the next 6 months? And that way we could, the second April, is that what that is? I think that's what April's saying. I see Kathy typing. Second, okay. So the second week of every month, we will have a 7-day challenge group team-wide. So from our team page all the way down. So you guys just know, you don't have to do it. You just know you're gonna, okay, you get a new person on board, you know, like the second week, okay, we're gonna have this group. If you have a couple friends, you know, you could get them included in this group and just kind of pump that up so you know that's something that's always going to be happening. We need that accountability and that system in place, or that calendar in place. So with that said, we are also asking for, okay, I'll go back to that. We're also asking for like two leaders, Cheryl, right, to get together and maybe for the next, like, we want to kind of have people in place to run these challenges. That way it's not always us, you know, it's fun to kind of break things up a little bit. So if like one of you and another person of you are like, hey, I want to do August, get together, let us know, and you guys do the graphics, you do the announcements on the team page, you create the group, and you do all those things. That way it's kind of, you get to be a leader, and your team gets to see that you're doing things as well. And that way it's not always us that people see. It gets redundant, right? Like our same stories and everything. Awesome, Robbie Joe, you're so cute. Okay, yeah, so if you guys want to help, and if you could put on the side that you would like to, we can message you, and then we can figure out what month would work best for you, so we can plan this out and get a calendar going for that as well. Are you doing everything in the VIP group, separate group? Yeah, so I feel like the VIP group was not, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I just felt like it was kind of weird in the VIP group for the 7-day challenge group. Want us to comment here in our group chat for leading each challenge, not VIP group. Yeah, so the 7-day challenge, if you want to comment on this thread, or if you want to send it in that gold and above message too, but I'll see it on here. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about like shout outs and recognition. So Cheryl and I, Sammy, April, we're all in Bob's Legacy Academy. Terry, are you in there too? You are Bob's, like, okay. So he was talking about recognition, and I love recognition. I love giving it, and I love shouting you guys out. but I feel like sometimes it's not always duplicated down. And people thrive off recognition. I know I do. I like when Bridget shouts me out, I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's like, oh my God, our team's doing so awesome. But every month I do a top producer. Anybody over 500 PV or more, they're getting a shout out from me. Who's my level 1 or my adopted level 1s? And I don't know if that's something that you guys want to implement down, but I think that's something that is free to do, to make a graphic, and it really encourages them. And then their friends get to see it too, right? And they're like, wow, they're really doing well. Number one, with this little pink drink that they're doing, their people are so supportive and fun. And it's something people can count on. When it's just like a random like shout outs here and there, it's not always like as authentic, you know? So like having that system in place where it's like, okay, the end of the month now, let's do some shout outs, like top and roller. I'm still trying to figure out that list, you guys. So if you know how to look at that, please shoot me a message after. But you know, if they're your top enroller on your team, shout them out. Do a shout out on your team page. If somebody does a gets their first customer, gets their first ambassador, or does their first post, shout them out on your team page. April and Sammy's page, I see that a lot on their team page, that people are just like shouting people out, and that really gets people excited. They're like, oh my gosh, I signed somebody up and I'm getting like all this praise on this team page, you know? Like, and if you see those praises, give a shout out and say congratulations, you know how good that feels, right? To do that. So how do you guys feel about doing that every month and with your team? Any excitement going on here? Yeah, okay. I can't see. Yay, fake claps. Okay. So that would be like every first of the month or the last day of the month once the numbers are reported and whatnot. I try to get started early because I've got like 15 to do, which is awesome. I love doing it. And it takes me a while sometimes. So top producer, and then top team page contributor. So if you have a team page, and I think everybody that has a team page has been doing this the last couple months, but doing a top team page contributor. This is shouting people out for contributing on your team page and getting them recognized for engaging. And so people that they're signing up are seeing like, hey, they're doing so good. It's not just for them, it's for people on their team to see them doing well too. Because successful people or people that are getting shout outs and all this thing, it's attractive, right? Like you want to be a part of that. But if somebody's never getting a shout out, never getting like a praise, you're like, are they even doing anything? Like I signed up under this person. And so people want to be signed up under those kind of people. So when we're shouting out our teams for doing something that we want them to do, we all want engagement on our team page, yes? If you have a team page, kind of boring when it's crickets or like nobody's commenting. So, sorry, my dog's going crazy, hold on. But just kind of like what we want our people to do, we should be recognizing them for. If we want them to engage on our team page, we should be recognizing them for that. If we want them to sign people up, we should be recognizing them for that. If they go silver again, that might be something else that we start doing. Hey, you've gone super silver, meaning like your gold or senior gold or whatever, but you signed 3 people, that means you've gone silver again. Like that should be, we all want everybody to go silver every month, right? That's like the goal. Maybe, what do you guys think about that? Like I've seen that on other team pages where they announce like a super silver. I see Cheryl, are you going on mute? No, okay. I don't know, it's just praises over raises, right? Like that's something that we can shout them out for. And hey, if that person's going, what's super silver? I want to go super silver, you know? Like I remember when I first joined and the PV list would come out every month, I would look for my name and be like, oh my gosh, yay, like I'm at the top, you know? Like that's exciting, and your friends shout you out and everything. So I really like that. And then are you guys using the ATM method, which is add, tag, and message? When you're adding them to the VIP page, tagging them in a post or 2 that you think would relate to them, and message them like 1 or 2 days after, hey, what do you think about that information I had tagged you in? Honestly, yes. Yes. Do you feel like your team knows to do that as well? No? Okay. I think there's a graphic. I can post it in our group chat. This would just be something that's going to be so beneficial for them because they just add people to that page and then they're like, what do I do with them? I've never done ATM method. It's okay, you guys. This is it. Like, we just want to be all on the same page. So maybe you didn't see the post. Like, it's hard to see everything with the algorithms and whatnot. Like, we don't get to see everything that everybody's posting. So that is I think that was it for right now. We just really want to set people up for success and get them a paycheck, right? Like, I remember my first paycheck, my first month, I made a paycheck that kept me going. And I want that for everybody that joins Plexus, even if they are not signing up for a paycheck, but they can get a paycheck. That's gonna get their wheels turning. Like, how do I keep doing this? Because that's what happened for me. I had no interest, you know, and Bridget added me to her team page and did a welcome post for me. And I was like, hey, what am I a part of? This is super fun, because I was never in a sorority and I feel like we're kind of in a sorority. So getting people added to the team page and welcoming them is all super important. We're going to do a monthly happy hour or a Pink Saturday. Yes. So I don't know if we should do both. What are your guys' thoughts on a monthly happy hour and a Pink Saturday every month? I just feel like I don't want to inundate people with so much stuff, because that's one of the things, not both. Okay, that's one of the things like Bob was suggesting. Bob Heilig, you guys, is amazing, and everything he says, I'm like, okay, we're doing that. But he was just like, less things, less activity, more producing. You know, if we're just constantly trying to add people and all this stuff to all these groups and keep along with all these groups and watch all these lives and everything, are we really producing much results for our own personal business? Or are we just kind of keeping ourselves so busy? So, okay, so either, perfect. So last month, or this month, we already did a VIP, right? Terry did it this month. I was gonna do a Pink Saturday this coming up Saturday, so I will not do it. So we'll do a Pink Saturday next month. Sound good? You guys like that? Okay. And what do you guys think for Pink Saturday, like towards the end of the month? That way, I feel like the first week of the month, we're doing shout outs, we're, you know, getting reports. If Plexus does an announcement or a special, that's kind of our focus. I don't want to do anything in the first week. And I feel like the last week of the month, especially if we're pushing for rank advancements or people are, you know, trying to promote, I don't want to do anything in that last week either. So it's kind of the middle 2 weeks of the month that we should kind of focus our stuff on. So what are your guys' thoughts? Let me scroll back up because I don't see everybody. Oh, alternate, yeah, okay. Agreed. So what do you think, like so that we're doing Pink or VIP 7-day challenge the second week of the month, and then the last Saturday of the month do a pink party? Or third week? What Hannah said. Okay, so the second week of the month, we will always do a 7-day group. The third week of the month, we will either do a happy hour or a Pink Saturday. A happy hour like on a Wednesday night, and then a Pink Saturday obviously on a Saturday. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay, and thank you again, Terry. Terry sent our last 2 happy hours. They were so awesome. I like the themes of them. All right. Do you guys feel like your teams are adding people to the team page on a consistent basis, or do you feel like that's a struggle to get people to do that? Or is that kind of not even an issue anymore? Nobody? Okay, so it must not be an issue anymore. Good, okay. I just kind of wrote a note, like, remember, we are training all these people we are onboarding, who are potentials, and then who we are onboarding or who we are helping as customers or future ambassadors, because eventually if they do sign up, they're going to take how you sign them up and they're going to duplicate that, right? So I always kind of remember that when I'm talking to somebody, I'm pretending they're one of us already, and I'm just training them for when they sign up, they already know what they're going to be doing. So kind of think about that when you are messaging a customer, following up. You know, you don't want to be that salesy person, but you want to be caring and on their time. So I just always do that. So do with them as you would want your level ones to do with their people, and duplicate down. So if you are signing somebody up and we're not following up 4 times a month, that would probably be something that we would want to start implementing like tomorrow or maybe tonight after this call. Did you guys watch that video on how to follow up 4 times a month? I'm gonna be honest, I've dropped the ball before. I mean, I sign people up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about them, you know, and Terry has a great method where she goes in and she looks at all her customers that she signed up, her ambassadors, like on a monthly basis, and checks that. But we're gonna go over a sheet that will hopefully help you to do that as well. All right, so Cheryl, you are coming up. That's the best video. Wait, what video on follow-ups? Yeah, Hannah, it's in that group message, the gold and above message. Let's see. I just make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so right now we're going to share the screen with you, and it's not the Brooke one, it's the Emily Gibson one. I can resend it, but yeah, it's up in that message. You scroll up, and I would like, be sure to watch this before our Zoom, but I know there was a lot of comments in there. All right, so what we are gonna go over is, did everybody see that green, yellow, and red chart that Brooke did? Yes, okay.
Andrea.
Yeah?
Before we do that, I'm looking at the calendar right now.
Uh-huh.
So if we're doing a 7-day challenge on August 6th, we need people to have their orders in by next Wednesday. So that means we need to start announcing that challenge like probably next Wednesday. So can we have like 2 people volunteer to run this challenge like right now, so that way by Wednesday they can have graphics for us and a group set up and all that, because we have to announce it this week for orders to be in by next Wednesday.
Do you feel like the 6th is too soon in the month, or do you guys feel like that's up? Because what if, I'm just thinking like for months going forward, what if Plexus announces some sort of thing the first week of the month, and then we're kind of focused on that and not really focused on the 7-day group, and then our 7-day group is like the one that we did like 2 months ago, where nobody was really involved. What if we do that the 2nd Monday of the month? I don't know. What do you guys think? I just feel like sometimes Plexus does things and then we're like so focused on that we're not really focused on a 7-day trial.
Wait, that right there, what you just said, instead of saying the 2nd week of the month, if we do the 2nd Monday of the month, that would help us out tremendously, because that would shift everything for August. Like, okay, if we start, then we'd be starting 13th, and then like it would shift it all. And so then looking at September, same thing would happen, because September 1st is like on a Saturday.
Right. Perfect.
It'll shift everything. So 2nd Monday of the month. So this one won't be until August 13th then.
Yes, that is perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So going forward, 2nd Monday of every month. But still, if you guys would like to help, please comment below or message us in that group, just so we can kind of get that just finalized on the calendar. And then same for September 10th, and then October the 8th, because that is the 2nd Monday. That's a long month, October.
Yeah. Yeah. If we could have all that, we'll have like a calendar completely done for the next 3 months by next Sunday night. And then that way we all know exactly what to expect for August, September, and October. Like all of us are all on the same page, and we like know who's running things. We know the dates of them all. You know, we know whether it's a VIP party or if it's a Saturday.
And we'll also say the day that we're going to launch it. That way every team page launches it on the same exact day. Like that way we give people enough time and notice and all those things. Do you guys want us to put on there like monthly recognition on the first of the month? Like to do shout outs, or will you guys just remember that naturally? Okay. All right, so we are going to go into the screen. Let me see. I need all the reminders I can get. Okay, Kathy. Let me go into Cheryl's message real quick. That way we can look at this as well. Okay. Alrighty, so we're going to share the screen. And we're going to go over our first onboarding. Can you guys all see this?
No.
Kathy cannot? No? Can anybody else not see it?
No.
You can't? Okay. One minute. I have it. Sorry, friend. I'm coming. All right, there we go.
That's okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, awesome. What's that?
Oh, I said let me just make it bigger. There you go.
Oh, how was it the other way? Yeah, I think the other way it was zoomed in a lot more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that.
Like that.
And then we'll just have to scroll down a little bit. But okay, awesome. So we, like she said, we taking from what Brooke Hemingway is doing with that chart she kind of put out there. I'm sure you guys all saw it. It has like the red column, the yellow column, and the green column. We literally took that and broke it up into an actual sheet of what to do with each column. So this is what we have. This is like a rough draft. It's not final, so we don't want to launch it yet. And we're waiting until August 1st to launch it with everybody on the same page. And we're waiting to get all of your guys' feedback on it as well. So if you look at this, I have to hold my phone really close to me. So this is for the first group, which would be the red group. Now, don't get confused with the colors on here with, you know, personality colors and everything. The red group is just going off that sheet that Emily had, right? So the red group are the people who are just here for products, right? Retail, preferred, and wholesale ambassadors. This sheet is for you to actually use when you get a new customer or wholesale customer, to literally take this and go through this. So you can either save it like on your computer and save a new one for each person and fill it in, or I'm printing mine out and actually using them with pen and paper. That's what I prefer to do, but you'll be able to, you know, you can save it to your notes and kind of go through it. And as you get used to it and get in the habit of doing more and more, you might not need to like look at it every single day, but this is like for where our brand new people, we can literally sign them up, hand them these sheets. Like if they're running the business, hand them these sheets and they could run the business without me. That's the whole goal of the business, right? Is that they can onboard someone and successfully train them and check on them and do all these things without needing me. And so this is where duplication really comes in. This is where we have that residual income and that freedom to kind of take our hands off the wheels a little bit. So let's kind of scroll down and look at this one. So the first group, this is called Successful Onboarding Checklist. You put their name, the date they signed up, or their order date, and I would circle like at the top, like if they're retail, preferred, or wholesale, I would just circle that, write their name down, write the date down, and what they ordered. So yes, we could go look in our back office every time we want to talk to these people and see all this stuff, or you could have it all at the exact same, like in one spot. So when, like if you're checking up on them, you have it all right there. So you know when they signed up, you know what they ordered, you know what they are. So you scroll down the first day that they actually signed up or ordered product, welcome them and add them to the appropriate pages. So that could be your team page, your uplines team page, or your customer testimony group page, which we have the VIP group page, right? Also, if they're on Instagram, adding them, telling them about the Instagram team page, sending them the link saying, hey, follow the team page. And you can welcome them on Facebook. And then if they're on Instagram, you can message, like I have a team page on Instagram and Andrea has a team page on Instagram. You can send us their welcome graphic and we can post it like in the stories on the team page too. So they can have a little shout out on there. Okay. Send them a message that first day, right? You got the email, they ordered product. You say, I'm so excited for you to get started. Message you as soon as you get your products. Send them the Welcome to Plexus video, which we will have an actual video library, and this will be uniform for everyone. So like Andrea will have a video library that is the exact same video library that I have on my team page, that like all of us have the exact same video library. So when we're sending this Welcome to Plexus video, we all have pretty much the same one, but we want to encourage you to make your own as well. So if you see one, or if Andrea makes one and you're like, oh, I really like that one, and then you want to make one, you can make your own Welcome to Plexus video and send that to people as well. And then the Plexus products overview video. So we'll have that video for you. Like I said, you can make your own if you'd like to. So then it gives you the option right here. You look, you're like, okay, day 4, or the first day they receive their products. This is when the date, you write this down. And so you're like, okay, they signed up on this date, 4 days from now, this is the date, I need to check on them again. You write it down right here so you know when you're supposed to be doing this next step, and also take it over to your calendar or notebook, whatever you have, and be like, check up on Sarah, whatever it is. Okay, message them to see if they received their products, because sometimes they don't message us when they get their products. I'm like, hey girl, did you get your products? She's like, yeah, I got them last week. I'm like, what? You got them overnighted? Like, how is that possible? So if they order the triplex combo, send them the what to expect with the triplex combo video. If they ordered something else or different products, send them what corresponds with that. Now, this might sound like super redundant and easy to you guys because you've been doing this for so long. You're like, I don't need to have this a checklist. Like, I already sent them the triplex video. I sent them the block video before they even ordered it. But you got to imagine, if someone is a silver, brand new, and they sign their first ambassador, this has to be duplicatable for them to do. So this is why it's so broken down and so detailed. So that way your new person knows exactly what to do with their new person, right? Okay, so schedule a phone call or get on the phone with them right away to go over their products or their welcome kit with them if they are wholesale. Ask them if they have a friend who can be their accountability partner who want to do this with them. So that's where it's kind of key of like trying to get them on the phone. 50-50 here. Some people will get on the phone call with you, some people won't. Your goal as a leader and as an ambassador is to try to get on the phone and make that connection. Hey, let's go over your products. Let me just tell you how I take them. Let me walk you through this. Let's open up that welcome kit and look at it. Like, just even if they're just wholesale customers, have them look at that welcome kit. You never know what seed might get planted. And then asking them who can be an accountability partner with them. How you do that? Here's an example. Or I'm sorry, if you can't get on the phone with them, follow these steps in message format and explain when and how to take the product. So obviously, if they don't get on the phone, you still need to be doing all this via voice messages in Messenger or texting or messages in Instagram. Okay, let's scroll down. Number 4, when they ask them to make a social media post. And send them an example of what to say. So this is the key of really where we want to focus, and what Brooke really focuses on is like making it for them, making it so simple where you're just like copy and paste this, make a post with this. And I think sometimes we forget, we're like, well, I want you to, just make up something, have it be your own voice, your own story. They're so brand new. They don't know what they don't know yet. And we have to just kind of spoon feed them in the beginning. In the beginning, they are like brand new baby ambassadors. So we have to spoon feed a little. Now you will have some people who just jump right in and are all good. But as leaders, we have to treat everyone as if they are just brand new babies. So ask them to make a social media post. Now this is for customers. So you're asking them like, hey, why don't you make a post about this? Maybe some of your friends want to do it with you. Maybe that'll help you have an accountability partner. Or maybe we can message like your best friend or your sister or someone and see if they want to do it with you. Brooke Hemingway says, if you get people an accountability partner, they're more than likely to stay on the products and stick with them and, maybe even consider the business down the road. So set up a 3-way message chat with your upline. So that would be, in Messenger, Instagram, or text message, whatever works for them. And you can do that in Instagram too. You can set up messages with your upline and them in there as well. Because I feel like a lot of business is coming from Instagram. Right now for me, it's Instagram is getting hot. And I know Andrea, I think it's like 50-50 for her right now. And so we really got to make sure that we are using the tools that Instagram's providing for us too. So like, here's a sample of it. I don't have to read that to you guys. You guys can see that. It's a sample of exactly what to say. And then boom, 3 days later, the date, this is your next follow up with them. Okay. So they've been on the products for 3 days. This is just a checkup, right? It's been 3 days. They're not going to have crazy results, right? But you want to check on them like, hey, how are you liking the taste of the pink drink? Doesn't Joyome smell amazing? Day 3, isn't lean so filling and yummy? So you keep it simple, keep it light, but you're just kind of checking in on them, making sure there wasn't some crazy reaction, something insane happened, but you're doing like, hey, I'm still here. I want to make sure you're okay. Anything I can help you with? Okay, cool. Then boom, you get to the 1 week later checkup. You put the date there. You can mark it in your calendar if that helps too. Second follow-up, simple questions. Are you remembering to take your products consistently, drinking half your ounces of weight in water? So basically all these questions we're giving samples for. So now remember, this might be so easy for you to message them and be like, hey, how's everything? How's this? How's that? But a brand new person doesn't know how to ask all these things or what to even say to them. So someone orders a bag of Slim from them. They're like, hey, thanks. And then they just don't talk to them for a month, right? They're like, did you like it? So this is like step-by-step for them what to do. Send non-scale victories graphic. Andrea made an amazing graphic that has non-scale victories on it. You can just send that to them and be like, hey, how are you feeling? Any of these happening for you yet? You've been on the products for whatever, 10 days now or whatever it is. Invite them to any team challenges, online events, online parties. So this is where they've been on the products for about a week or 2 weeks and you're like, hey, you're on my team page. I know you're just here as a customer, but we're having this really fun Pink Saturday that maybe you want to come to it. You're part of the team. You can just like jump in there, maybe win a prize. It's really fun. Can I add you to it? Getting them more plugged in, getting them more connected to things gives a better success rate for them on their products and consistency and sticking around, right? And then here we go, 1 week later. Now this, if you guys are looking at this and you're like, this is ridiculous and tedious, it goes quickly, right? It takes 2 seconds to send that message. But this is the details that we need to have it all duplicated. 1 week later. So this is like the 3rd or 4th week at this point now. Ask how they're feeling. Are their health goals starting to be met? Non-scale victories, are they being consistent? How can you help them stay consistent? Talk about subscription order, when their next shipment will come. Obviously, if they're retail, asking them, hey, if you want to order again, it would be the exact same steps as last time. Do you want to consider if you're loving it? Maybe we can get you as a preferred customer, get a discount. If they're only ordering 1 or 2 products, right? Or if they're like, I'm someone love, I want to go all in, right? Then you're upgrading them. But talk about manually ordering and subscriptions, and then sending them that subscription video on the team page. Making suggestions of different products they want to add and try, troubleshooting video for Triplex or Joyome. So anytime there's a video on this chart, that video will be a corresponding video will be in the video library that's pinned at the top of my team page, Andrea's team page, and we're hoping Bridget's and Rhonda's as well. But for sure, our whole entire team will have the same library to access. So then that's it. Congratulations, you set up your new ambassador. Here's a little follow-up log. So right here, you can kind of just keep notes of okay, what happened on this day? Here's details, just for your next follow-up. Maybe it's in the next month. Okay, so that's for red. That's just for retail, preferred, or wholesale customers strictly. That's not for anyone who wants the business. They're totally nope, not doing it. That's how you onboard them properly their first month. Does anyone have any questions at this point, or kind of any thoughts or anything? And then we'll jump into the yellow and green.
If anybody have questions, I'm trying to make it bigger. All right, stop share. There we go. And y'all love it? Okay. Everybody's liking that? Okay. It seems simple, but as Cheryl and I were even talking, I'm like, ooh, I haven't been doing this. Or she's like, oh, I wasn't doing this. Or, and it's just things that kind of slip our mind because it's not as a reminder, and we're all busy, right? We need check. I love the IPA sheet, and now I'm like, okay, I got this down, right? So once we start doing it, yeah, we've had an Instagram. We haven't really used it as much, Kathy, but so many people are I've been sending out samples to people on Instagram, and 3 out of the 5 are like, I don't have Facebook. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do with them? Because I'm normally like, can I add you to this VIP group? And it's like, we don't have one. So we have a page over there where we're posting information, and then we have a VIP page over there. Yeah? No? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to be starting August 1st. That's when I'll be really focused. And if I post on one page, I'm going to post on the other, and that way they can get plugged in. That way they don't feel like I have to create a Facebook and all these things. They can at least be plugged into that. And when getting on the phone with people, I've gotten on the phone with like three of the 6 that I've signed up so far this month. And it was really kind of simple. I'm like, hey, I'm free tomorrow morning. Do you have 5 or 10 minutes? Which we all know we're going to talk for 40 minutes, right? Because they're probably your friends or somebody you're getting to know. But I laid it all out there. I explained die-off. I explained vitamin C. I explained, this is not a quick fix. I explained everything where I feel like they are set up for success versus like, hey, have you got your products? Awesome. Where it's just sending that voice message. It's so much more personal. Yes, I took a lot of time, but that's going to save me time down the road, explaining die-off, explaining half your body weight in ounces of water, explaining all these things over and over. So taking that time one time is saving me time down in the future and probably keeping them more consistent. Because I'm explaining to them, like, it's going to take 30, 60 days. You know what I mean? Where people just don't sign up that way. And there was one more thing I was going to say that I was doing. Oh yeah, and I don't know if you guys have done this, but it's like, hey, how are you feeling? It's like day 3. How are they going to feel? You know what I mean? It's like, how do you like the taste of the pink drink? We're not asking questions because they're going to, well, how am I supposed to feel? Am I supposed to feel something already? And so I noticed I was doing that. So I don't know if anybody else, maybe it's just me. Maybe I just need to be retrained. Okay, Cheryl, do you want me to go over the next one? Or are you okay? You're good? Okay.
I'm okay, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if Kennedy was, all right, so we're going to go over the second group now. And you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay. And this is for those that kind of want to dabble a little bit. Let me see. Can you see it all the way?
Yeah, I see it. It's good.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Is there I think there's like an echo. Is there echo?
I can go mute.
Okay, let me see if it. Okay. All right. You can hear me, right? It sounds good. Okay. Okay. So the second group, those are, I hate to say it, but the yellows, those are the people that are just dipping their toes in, right? But they've signed up as an ambassador. So, there we go. Okay. So it's pretty much a lot, just like what, Brooke was talking about in her video. It's a lot of the same as the customer, right? They are a new customer technically, unless they've upgraded, then some of these things you might not need to do for them. But this is for someone who's signed up and they're maybe kind of considering dabbling in the business. So a lot of it looks the same. You're creating a welcome post for them. You're tagging them into some relevant posts that they might want for the business. Like if there's a post about, I don't know, a teacher or something, they happen to be a teacher, you tag them in that, things like that. So you're tagging them in posts, add in the team pages. I'm excited for you to get started. Here's the welcome videos, message me as soon as you get your products. So kind of the same there. Let's scroll down. Let's see where it starts to get different. So I think it's scheduling a phone call and helping them make a social media post right there, number 4. Okay, that's where you're going to go in and you're saying like, okay, we're going to make a social media post and it's going to say, I'm so excited to start my new health journey that my friend has been raving about. And they post a selfie, no graphics. And it's really like, okay, we got to make this post and setting up a 3-way message with your upline. Scroll back up really quick. I'm sorry. I think I missed one like kind of important part about it. I think, yeah, schedule on the phone or get a phone call with them right away. Scroll up really quick. Which day is this? This is when? Day 4. Okay. All right. Scroll back down. Sorry. Okay. Step 5, 3-way message with their upline. And here's a sample. And then 3 days later, their first follow-up. Pretty much the same as for the other one, keeping it light and simple about the products and stuff. Keep going. Okay. So what we missed in here that we had talked about that I don't see is their list of 20, or is that right there? Okay, there it is. Okay. So 1 week later, so these people are just dabbling in the business. So we're not kind of like rushing them on things, but now they've been on the product for 1 week and they're like, okay, I want to share. People are messaging me. Like, I don't know what to do, kind of at that point. And that's when you're trying to get them on the phone again, but you're talking to them about making a list of 20 people, 10 of the easiest people they have and 10 of their best people that would be awesome on their team, right? Helping them send reach out messages to them like, hey, insert name. I just started Plexus. Have you ever heard of it? Like those kind of messages, something very simple, very duplicatable that you can actually tell them, like, this is what you need to send to those 20 people. Ready, go. And the goal with this group of yellows is to try to get them silver in 1 month. So it's not a rushing group. They're kind of like, this is very like part-time for them. They're not trying to get to the top. Like they're just like, I could share it. You know, they're dabblers, right? But you still want to kind of spoon feed them and help them. They don't know what to post, how to post. And I've made the mistake in the past of just assuming, I'm like, well, just post a selfie and just say something like really quick and easy about it. And then they don't for like a week or two and they're just like paralyzed. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to like really help them more. So, week later, follow up with them. Here's all the stuff for them to follow up. So now Andre's going to send this to the group thread and you guys can read over all of these and take notes of some things you think that are either like totally missing or some things that don't make sense or anything that you guys see. Take some notes because we want to get back together on Sunday night with these and with you guys and really kind of get them locked in perfectly to launch them on August 1st. So basically it's almost all the same thing here for the yellows. Once your newbie has begun signing people up as a customer, make sure they use these sheets too. So that's the key thing here. When your person signs up their first customer or ambassador or anything, you go, hey, make sure you grab their sheet, get the red sheet and use that with them. Save all these sheets to your phone or to your computer, whatever you need to do, save these. And you need to go over that red sheet with them. And I don't have to explain it. I'm just like, take the red sheet and do it with them, right? Because it's so self-explanatory. So that's kind of the goal with it. Okay. And then for the green sheet, if you want to jump right into that really quick. The green. Okay. I think she's going to pull up the green sheet. Sorry, I have like the phone so close to my face. I'm trying to see it on my phone.
Yeah, it's up front.
Okay. It's not showing up on the screen. It's still at the very end of the yellow one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Terry, can you see it? Because you're the only face I can see. You can't see the green one either? Weird. Okay, my sharing screen is paused. Oh, we're using share. That's why. Okay. Why is it paused? Oh, maybe because I could modify that one.
Well, I mean, I don't think I need to like go over if you guys are all going to get it and read through it, right? Do I need to like read through everything on green? Basically, those people want to run the business, right? So it has like a little bit more of aggressive. It's like making the list of 64 and sending them that video. It's getting them on a 3-way call right away with your upline and having that 3-way call. It's just like a more aggressive thing. And it's a checklist for all that as well. So if you guys don't mind, if you have time this week to look over these and think of like, okay, what's missing, what's not working, what doesn't make sense, where it can be super duplicated. Remember, if it's someone who just signed up, could they follow this sheet and checklist with their new person? That's the goal of these. So I will tell you guys that I printed these out and tried them for the past week. And honestly, it's crazy because like I have this new girl and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it with her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even send her that video yet. And I didn't do that because, you know, when you're signing new people and you have new ambassadors, sometimes we think I sent that video or we just assume we like added them to that thing and we kind of forget and we really trust our brain to remember so much. It's almost easier to kind of have it all written down just where I'm like, okay, I don't even have to think. So now I don't have to really worry about her because I'm like, what's the date? All right, I'll worry about her on Wednesday, you know, and I can kind of like give my brain that freedom to not be stressed all the time.
You have to get like a little calendar and write, you know, like follow up with this person on this date and have this is how I had my IPA in here and I have my calendar in here. And then you can print those sheets and have them in here. That way, whenever your time is to work your business, you just pull out your folder and like, okay, this, and this. And it's so streamlined. You're not searching through messages. Who did I sign up or who do I need to follow up with? You know, like it's just super simple and easy. Can you send them in a format? Yep, PDF and Word. And once we launch this is going to be on our units on our team page. That way, when you get a new person and they're signing people up, you could tag them and you can explain to them that they can print those out and whatnot. So that way, it's always somewhere that people can do it at. They can always find it. This isn't going to be like, okay, go to YouTube and figure it out. We're going to have these video libraries. We're going to have these units in our team page where they can go and print off these PDFs and they can have it for themselves. Including the follow-up binder. What do you guys think so far? I meant to print next Sunday so we can make notes on for the Zoom. Yeah, I'll send it, Cindy. Kathy, Cindy. I will send it.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal, Kathy, was that we want you guys to take these, and if you can print them out, read through them and like jot down notes and jot down things. And then I think next Sunday morning, maybe if you send like screens or take pictures of them all to us and we can kind of gather it all together and try to get like some finalized drafts that we can go over next Sunday night in a call. It's like, I like this is more structured, totally duplicatable, totally like a kindergartner could do it. And then you guys, so for example, I printed mine off and they're in this notebook. I'll show you if you guys can see. So now when I sit down to do my follow-ups, like I'm literally like, okay. And then I just go through it. So I'm like, okay. And the only people who are in here are the ones who've been here within like 30 days. So anyone who's before 30 days, like they come out of the notebook. Once I hit like a 30-day mark, I'm like, okay, you can move on and get out of the notebook. So I can go right through this from front to back. I'm like, what week am I on with her? Okay, she's good. This person's good. Okay, that person's good. And that's everyone. So I don't have to like log in, write down all my people, send messages, scroll in and see what they ordered to make sure I remember what they ordered. Like it's all right here and it's so simple and it's awesome.
The system. It's like we could step away, and if our teams are all duplicating this down. So Emily and Brooke did this, and when they started doing this and then accountability calls, which we're going to talk about next, and we're mindful of your time. We're trying to speed it up. But they had 15 promotions in 4 months on their team when they were stalled for months. Like Emily's like, we're adding. We're not increasing points. I feel like I'm constantly working my business. She said something and it really spoke to me. She's like, I haven't looked in my son's eyes in months because she was just running herself ragged. That's not the diamond life that I want, you know? So we've gotten to where we are as a team this way, but we can't keep going like this, you guys. I don't feel like we can. Maybe some of you are a little bit newer where you're like, well, I got a little more energy in me, but we don't want you guys to get the burnout. You know, like we want you to have time with your families and enjoy that time and not constantly be having to be attached to this. You have your messenger notifications off. I highly suggest you turn them off. So you're not constantly getting notified on your phone because that will drive you bonkers. And then Kathy, on the team page, we're going to have it in the units, a video library. So once that's up, we can screen next week if we talk again, if everybody's able to make it on. I can show you where the units are. I can share the screen of the Facebook, but it's just on our team page and it says units. Rhonda started it kind of where she added some things, but so anyway, any questions on those 3 sheets? No, okay. So next up is accountability calls. And this is something that they do as well. And we're like, hey, they've got it figured out. They've got a system. I love doing coaching calls. Don't get me wrong, but 5 to 6 a week, 30 minutes, that's what, 2.5, 3 hours a week just on coaching calls for myself. And it's not getting all of you connected to have accountability partners and to be accountable and held accountable, a little bit more of a higher standard of accountability. So we are going to be starting in August accountability calls, which are on your way to gold. So this would be ambassador and silvers, and then golds and above, and then gems and above, which would be rubies and above. Yeah, why reinvent the wheel? Exactly. Like we say that all the time in Plexus, so we're not going to reinvent this. So anyway, so these calls are, though, for those that are 100% committed and want to be in these calls. It's kind of like a semester. It's 3 or 4 months. I think we haven't decided. I think they do 4 months, but so it's 3 months. And if you promote during that time, the next time after those 3 months are done, you get promoted to that next class type thing. So I think going in the first round, we're not 100%, but we're going to do them all together. That way we can all kind of learn together. But we want this to be people that really want to be in these calls. we don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time. And there are accountability call sheets that they use. So we're like, hey, we can use those as well, that need to be sent into us Sunday mornings before these calls by like noon. That way we have them for the call, because we're going to go over them. We're going to shout people out and say, you're doing this, you're doing that. So it's really keeping all of us accountable. I like being held accountable, and I don't really have anybody holding me accountable. So it is nice to have those people like, hey, I signed up this amount this week, or hey, I haven't signed anybody this week, you know, like I'm going to be accountable to you guys as well. And so they're just 30 minutes. So the silver to gold one is going to be from 7 to 7:30 on Sunday nights. The gold and above is from 7:30 to 8. And then the gym and above is 8 to 8:30. So they will just be 30 minutes. We don't want to take up any of your time. Once it gets close to that time, we're going to say, hey, we have 2 minutes left, and we're going to cancel it or end it right at that 30 minutes, because we want to be mindful of your time. We don't want you guys on all these Zooms, watching all these lives, doing all these things. We want to free up as much time as we can for you and make it less stress and less things to do. How does that sound to everybody? Good. Okay. Can I see smiles? we're happy people, right? Okay. Perfect. Okay. And so if there's people on your team, how should we do that, Cheryl, to qualify people to be on these calls? Because I believe watching the video, and I'm going to rewatch it again, but it's like you can miss one, you're sick or something like that, but it's like we're going to make it to be on these calls every single week. It's not like we have excuses why we can't be on. You know what I mean? Like if you're committed, you're committed. And because then it takes our time too, you know, to follow up and reach out with you. Hey, everything okay? So if you don't want to be included, which is totally okay too, you can let us know that as well. We totally understand if it's not a season in your life where you're like, I can be committed and I'm gung-ho and I want to, you know, be accountable for how many customers, how many ambassadors, how many reach outs I'm doing, then, you know, we totally get that too. You have to be in a season in your life where you're ready to be committed and be held accountable. And let's rank up, right? 2018, let's kill the end of the year and have some major, major rank ups with this team. I agree about weekends are kind of hard. Protects the integrity, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna be Sunday nights. It's 7 o'clock. At night. 7:30 would be you, Kathy, and Tracy. 7:30 on Sunday nights. Is that still church and family time? Oh, you're muted. I know it's not going to be weekdays are more flexible. I would just be working every other Sunday. Yeah.
Well, maybe for like extreme circumstances like that or something, you know, if they send in their accountability sheet Sunday morning, you know, and for qualifying people too, maybe they have to like get on a phone call with them, ask them, invite them, tell them, can you commit to this? You know, you can only miss like, you know, if you're sick or something, but you know, if you're going to go out, like out to dinner, you're on vacation or whatever, you can't miss like that. Or Andre's going to kick you out of the, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But I think having, you know, we'll know by like the first 2 or 3 weeks if they don't turn in their sheet in the morning, and then they don't, you know, if they miss calls and stuff like that, then it's kind of like, maybe that's when one of us reaches out to them and say, hey, maybe this isn't the right time for you. Why don't we wait for 3 months and then come back around and see if it's a better time for you? Because we're kind of troubleshooting it this first time. So, you know, I think by the time we do this first one and kind of get through the 3 months, we'll know exactly like how to structure them and do them and all the things.
Mm-hmm. And I know not every night is going to be perfect for anybody. I mean, that's my kids' bath time. That's my kids' bedtime. You know, we do family nights on, you know, Sundays. We do things all the time. I know it's never going to be a perfect time, but it's not good for you either, Jackie. Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. but I just feel like we're never going to be able to accommodate the whole entire team. It's 30 minutes, you guys. I'm not trying to like make it sound like it's not a big deal what your plans are, but it is just 30 minutes of jumping on and giving your stats and being held accountable for that week. So hopefully you can make it work with those calls, because I really feel like they are going to change all of our businesses and really help with keeping retention and then keeping everybody going forward and not keep, staying where we're at to progress.
I have to shout out, so I have a girl, Amy, on my team who's a silver, and we talked last week, like an accountability call, and she said, okay, I'm going to reach out to 120 people this week. And I was like, all right, on Sunday night, we'll check in, like accountability call. And then earlier I talked to her and I said, hey, we're not going to start them until August, but I mean, you're doing awesome if you want to keep doing it, but we're really going to start in August. We're going to have like a group. It'll be all these things. Well, she said, well, I reached out to 130 people because I knew I was going to, like, you're going to check on me. And so I reached out to 130 people this week. And she's like, I have 10 more to do tonight. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what our team needs, right? Because if not, then we just don't do it.
Right.
Like if we know we're going to get pulled out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like even those IPA Zooms, and I know not a lot of people are jumping on them, but I know for the ones that are popping on, they're like, I like the accountability. It helps me because I was like, I'm getting back into my routine. So when my kids are down for nap time, I'm like, I'm back in my routine, like it's just creating those routines and those systems, and it's 30 minutes and you're done, and so anyway, and Robbie Joe, I know, and you can always, go mute and just have the phone nearby, and yours would be what, 7:30 to 8. Yeah, but that's Sunday night. Your kiddo works, or your husband works Sundays too. Oh. Okay, well, we don't want to keep you guys much longer. Does anybody have questions or feedback, or are excited, or just excited? Okay, thank you, Jackie. I like thumbs up. Leanne, excited? Kathy's very excited. I love that. Love the enthusiasm. Okay, Hannah's stoked. Awesome. And see Michelle's on here. Karina's awfully quiet. All right, cool. Well, this is for you guys too. This isn't just, we want to help you guys make your lives easier, because we don't want you running ragged anymore and feeling like you're a slave to Plexus, because we want you to enjoy it, and that's what it's meant for. And we want you to enjoy your family time outside those 30 minutes for the accountability Zooms. Anything else you want to add, Cheryl? No? Okay. So is everybody good for next Sunday night? Just kind of finalizing and going over this. We won't talk this long, I promise. Probably just be 30 minutes next Sunday night, 7:30. We're trying to do it not so late just because of our Texas people. It's 9:30 to 10, almost 11 for them. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you all for popping on, and I appreciate you. And we will send you the formats so you can print them out, try them out this week if you sign anybody up, and just see what we could add or what we're missing. And then we're getting those video libraries put together. All right. Thank you guys.